Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome you back to another episode of DokiCraft. And we're hitting the ground running because we have already finished 3 new buildings for the city. And I'll bet you're wondering why we're getting right to work. And the first reason is just the sheer number of buildings that we're gonna have to complete. Yeah, I've definitely gotta stay busy. But the other reason is that shulker monster, this one, and of course this huge one over here. But a few episodes ago, I flew over here into the shopping district and into this building specifically where we have the maid cafe. Unfortunately, it seems the maids aren't really around these days, but it occurred to me that, I kinda work here, don't I? The resemblance is pretty uncanny. So what I decided to do is come into here and I found the little shulker monster cleanup job that I made, and I just put in the fee. So the fee was for me to build 3 buildings. Awesome. All taken care of. And now this guy needs to get to work cleaning up all those shulker boxes. This really simple elevator system is actually a game changer. It's so easy to go up and down just from within the storage room. Because before I had this, every time I needed to go up to the storage system that's just right above here, I had to fly down, fly all the way out, use a rocket, fly all the way up here, and then go through this door right here. Really not that difficult until you have to do it like 100 times within an hour. But with that done, I think it's finally time to get started on the main project for this episode, which is actually not going to be here at all. I do have one more building that I want to build here, but I'm going to do that at the end of the episode. What I'm going to do now is fly back over to the copper golem storage system and grab just a few of these diamonds and beacons. That's right, everybody, we've got another hole to dig. Okay, so we have a giant hole under the shopping district, but what is this gonna be used for? Well, I tell you what, this is going to use a ton of tuff that I don't have, so I'm gonna run and get all of that, and while I do it, I'll tell you what my plan is. So I have a lot of diamonds, whether from my shops or from just mining a ridiculous amount. I've managed to come into what most would probably say goes beyond a small fortune and begins approaching a large fortune. So what am I gonna do with it? Well, I put a lot of thought into what would be the best use for all of these diamonds, and I realized that what I need more than anything else is more time. I've got a massive city to build and just not enough time to do it the justice it deserves, so I decided, what if I just pay people to build for me? And by build for me, I specifically mean interiors. There are already over a dozen buildings in the city, and I plan to build probably 2 to 3 times that many again at the very least, and every one of those buildings ought to have an interior. Now, I don't know if that will definitely happen, but I'm hoping that by giving a large enough incentive, we can get it one step closer to being a reality. And now that I've got everything I need, it's time to get to work. And now that we've got a sort of bland, boring dungeon wall kind of thing going on, it's time for us to turn this into the Diamond Emporium. There's something really liberating about ignoring aesthetics and just leaning really hard into ostentation. No special build techniques, no special build palettes, nothing special of any kind really, just a bunch of diamonds all over the walls, kind of like, you know, they're infesting the whole cavern. Or maybe not cavern because the walls are sort of bricky. Maybe a mausoleum? Yeah, that sounds like a good word. It's like some kind of underground mausoleum where, I don't know, they've buried some dead people, and I don't know where I'm going with this. But you kind of get what I'm going for. We've got diamonds infesting the walls. It's really cool. But I think we can go even further. See, there's this really cool technique that I love to use, but I don't think I've ever done it on this channel before. Until now, of course, so just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Oh, this is just gorgeous. People have been doing this mirror effect with glass for basically as long as glass has existed, but it's just absolutely one of my favorite effects to do, and it just looks so real. And if I'm being honest, it was actually so much easier to do the bottom half than it was to do the top half. And like I said before, I have done this effect before, but never in videos, and wow, this is honestly one of my favorite ways of doing it. The darker gray glass works really well, and I am using one of the vanilla tweaks things to make the glass completely smooth, so if you don't have that, it is a little less realistic, but honestly, I mean, it's still not too bad. But yeah, much better without it. Or with it, I should say. But as fantastic as this is looking, I think there's one more thing that I can do to make it look even more realistic, and I just need to fly up through here. I still don't have a good way to get up and down, but let's just grab a couple of diamonds and then fall back down into the hole. And what I want to do is I want to just make little stacks of diamonds here and there. You know, it doesn't have to be too crazy, but then what I have to do afterwards to preserve the effect is I need to get rid of all of this glass. It's a little awkward to build, but don't worry, it's gonna be worth it. And let's just get like a little bit of some scaffolding down here below. And then all I need to do is look up above so we can just match it with what we have there. So there's gonna be 2 right there, 1 right here, 1 right there, 1 right there. And then the center is going to be 3, I think. Get rid of all of this. And then we just cover it back up with glass. And look at that. It looks really good because you get the very slight tint from the glass on the lower portion. And you can see this really distinct line where these are the diamonds on the top and then these ones are clearly the ones below. Oh, it looks so cool. Let's just add these all over the place. And look at that, everybody. This is the Diamond Emporium, and I am so excited with how this looks. But because we are finally getting to the end, it's time to do sort of the logistics stuff and take care of what people are actually going to see when they get here. And normally I would probably use a lectern and a chest, but lecterns and chests have a bit of a problem where even if you place them up above, you can see they're always in the same orientation. They're always facing up versus down. And unfortunately, when we try to do this in the little mirror effect that we've gotten, it doesn't look super great. So what I'm gonna do instead is probably run up here because I completely forgot to bring an axe. Let's just get all of this taken care of. So rather than doing that, I'm gonna be using barrels, and I'm also going to be using item frames, or probably I'm gonna be using this glow item frame. I'm not sure how they look, you know, above and below the glass, so we'll have to try that out. But let's try and find a way to arrange this. I think the barrels can go right here in the middle like so. Get rid of the glass down below. And then let's see which one of these looks better? You know, I think I do like the glowing item frame better, but actually before I do this, oh, I completely forgot about this. Let's fly out of, oh dear. Let's just fly out of the hole, and up above here, I should have in one of these containers a whole bunch of cyan stained glass. This is gonna be, you know, I'm not 100% sure how exactly this is going to look, but in addition to doing this little mirror effect, I think we can go 1, 2, 3, and let's maybe, oh, can I do this? I failed. Let's try this one more time. There we go. But I needed to go farther down. Okay, whatever. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to make another layer of glass 2 blocks lower, and this time I'm going to use cyan stained glass. So what will happen is, let me just do this real fast. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Diamond Emporium is done, and I gotta say, this layer of cyan glass at the bottom is looking so cool. You know, I'm actually kind of thinking I maybe should have planned ahead a little bit better, because there's like this layer right here where you can see the cyan glass starting, and it's not the top layer of glass, so maybe I do need to go back and change this top layer of glass to cyan as well, and that will look a little bit better. See, this is why I usually plan my builds ahead of time a little bit better. But that aside, I do have the, I don't know, what do you want to call this? The rule book for what this entire place is going to be all set up. And I think it looks really cool with the mirror effect. It's not exactly perfect because you can see the book. It's not perfectly mirrored down at the bottom, but at a glance, it looks pretty good. And I'm pretty happy with it. But since I have written in the book, let's actually open this up and get a little idea of what people are going to be expecting when they come down here. So, welcome to Purple's Diamond Emporium. Need diamonds? This is the place. I'm not going to actually read through the entire thing because it's, you know, a little bit long. But just to really quickly explain how this is going to work, what people are going to do is they are going to go all the way over to my city build way over there that you guys see all the time, and they're going to build an interior for one of the buildings, and when they do, they can grab a stack of diamonds here. But that's not the real prize. Yes, a stack of diamonds is a lot. I think it should be a pretty solid incentive, but the real incentive is going to be the sort of it's not a mini game, but like the competition that I have going on here. Essentially what's going to happen is everyone that builds over at my city, building an interior for one of the buildings, they're going to get entered into the building competition. And when the competition ends, the real prize is going to be that everyone gets to take one of these pickaxes, and they're gonna get to use it to mine every single bit of diamond, and I guess the tough if they really want it, out of this Diamond Emporium. And each one of these pickaxes is just a little bit different. I mean, it's very simple. These are, let's see, this one has efficiency 5, whereas this one doesn't. They're all unbreaking 3, all mending, all silk touch. But we've just got 2 iron, 2 copper, 2 gold, and then 2 diamond pickaxes. And one of each is efficiency 5, and one of each is, you know, not efficiency 5. It's pretty simple, really. And whoever wins the build competition, and by the way, the build competition, you are encouraged to build multiple builds, and if you build multiple builds, then all of your points are going to be put together cumulatively, so like they're going to add together. So people are highly encouraged to build multiple builds over there. But whoever wins the competition is going to be able to look out over these pickaxes, and they're going to pick the one that they want, which, I mean, is almost certainly going to be this one, because it's the diamond pickaxe with efficiency 5. And then second place can go through and they can grab whichever one they want. Third place can grab one. Fourth place can grab one. And so on and so forth down the line. I'm actually really excited about this because I think it's going to be a really cool competition and sort of spectacle to end off the server. And I'm hoping that the amount of diamonds, and I'll add more diamonds in here as I get more, but you can see I'm starting to run a little bit low. I mean, wow, I wonder why. But anyway, hopefully this is enough of an incentive and, you know, getting to mine all this stuff at the end. I'm honestly really looking forward to this. But with the Diamond Emporium 99% done, I think I'm just going to do a final couple tweaks just to get this place absolutely finished and ready to open. Now we are rapidly approaching the end of the video, but I made you a promise at the beginning. I told you guys that we were going to build one more building in addition to the 3 that we did at the very beginning of the episode. And wow, these buildings are looking so cool despite the fact that they have absolutely zero interior or walls. And we'll deal with that later. As we turn around this corner, all the new buildings and this bridge comes into view. And guys, I gotta say, I really like the bridge especially because I kind of felt like this road needed something and I wasn't sure exactly what it was. And granted, it still needs a lot more because I'd like to have some stuff on the sides of the road. Something to give the city a little bit more life, kind of like we did all the way over in this side of the city. Yeah, you can see like just the little umbrella, or not umbrella, what do you call this? Tent? I'm totally blanking on the name right now. But, you know, we've got like this pipe with the warped stuff. We've got some flowers. Like, you know, there's just little things in the city or on the sides of the street that make it feel a little bit more lived in than probably the section over here that we haven't quite finished yet. For example, like right here, I'm thinking maybe we can put like a little mini garden as we separate the 2 buildings, or rather streets, I should say. And then at this intersection, I think we'll have like a big building. I've got some kind of cool ideas for what we can do with this here. Yeah, I'm really happy with this, especially this building right here, which, you know, I worked some of the netherrack into it and I think it actually looks really good from up close and also from farther away as well. Yeah, this looks pretty good. One thing that I've put a decent amount of effort in, and that I've also mentioned before, is I'm trying to make all of the city buildings feel like they belong in the city, which is why we've got a lot of this blackstone sort of thing at the bottom. Like all the way down this line, it's all the same blackstone all the way down the line with only a few exceptions. Like there's this building here, and then I think there's a couple over on this side that are a little bit different. Yeah, we've got the copper golem storage, this little stable area, but other than that, they're pretty much all about the same. So no matter where you are in the city, it always kind of feels like you're in the same place. Honestly, I won't talk too much about the buildings because it can probably get a little bit boring and we need to wrap up the episode. But I do just want to mention that a bunch of these buildings, I'm really trying to lean into a specific color and then go from there. So like this one, I started with the orange and sort of evolved into the oak and birch. This one's green and it sort of stayed green. That one was cyan. We've got red, some more of the cyan, and then of course the warped building over here. And my personal favorite, or I probably shouldn't say favorite, but definitely one of my favorites is this one, which I used the light blue terracotta, which light blue terracotta is kind of hard to work into anything, but I think using the andesite and stone bricks as like a way to highlight it made it actually kind of work. I don't know, you guys let me know which building you think is your favorite. Although I have a feeling that the fact that this bridge is so interesting and unique kind of gives a big head up to this last building. Both sides are pretty much identical, except this one has a slight inset here, whereas this one's all the way flat across, which means that I did do a couple of updates over here, like this is 1 block higher, but I always do that, especially, you know, if you watch some of the other buildings, you'll notice that when I have an inset, I usually put one side just a tiny bit higher. This one's a good example of that, and you can see the same thing here. I mean, when you look at them straight on like this, it does look a little bit awkward, but since most of the time people are going to be looking up at them from the road, I think it's a really good use of sort of the depth illusion something or other that we can that just kind of works in Minecraft in a way that it might not in real life. I mean, if I just look up at these windows right here, they really do all look like they're about the same, and even this, like the, what's that called, the pale oak log that's sort of separating the layers, that looks about the same. but if I go into free cam, you can see it is indeed not all on the same level. And that's sort of preserved to varying degrees as you go around. Like from this angle, it's maybe not quite as good, but I mean, I think it's pretty good. But the moon is rising, and I think it's about time I finished up this episode. Although I do think it's a great time to look at this bridge again and this building, because the little copper lamps that we used on here look really cool during the nighttime. Honestly, this whole building kind of feels like it belongs in Halloween, I think, with the warped logs and then the orange used in front of the windows, and even like the jungle and stuff like that. It sort of gets like an orange vibe as you're looking at it. I have no idea what the interior of this building should look like, but there's a pretty reasonable chance that I won't have to think about it because of our Diamond Emporium. And as we fly into the shopping district city with the butterfly above, oh wow, this is looking really cool. Let me just come down into this road right here, a little bit fast, but it's fine. We've got the Diamond Emporium, and I really like the location, to be honest. I felt like these little street corners could use something here, and I don't know, this works out. It's almost like somebody started digging here and they suddenly found diamonds and they were like, oh, maybe I should dig a little bit deeper, and they found this. Definitely let me know what you guys think about this, because well, actually, I tell you what, if you like it, then tell me what you think about it. But if you don't like it, well, maybe just keep that to yourself for the sake of my feelings. No, I'm just kidding. This is, you know what? It's not supposed to be anything special, but I think just the sheer number of diamonds sort of makes it look a lot cooler than it maybe otherwise would, because this is a lot of diamonds. Like, the diamonds are on both sides, so like all of the diamonds on the top are mirrored on the bottom, so this is a lot. This is a lot. And hopefully, if I can get a whole bunch of people to join in the build competition, all of these diamonds are going to be gone as well, and we're going to have a really cool end of the season event sort of thing, and everybody's going to mine this out, and it's going to be amazing. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this episode. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it, and well, tell me what you think about the Diamond Emporium. Good or bad, I'd love to hear it. Personally, the thing I'm most curious to see is which building is going to be the first building that somebody decides to build an interior in. My bet is on this one, because I think it's got a really cool exterior and just a lot of, I don't know, interior to work with. I think there's a lot of room for creative liberties in this building especially. But anyway, the rain is starting and it's time for me to finish this episode, so let's fly past the zombies, the creepers, the skeletons, and all the other nasty things right to this guy and kill him really fast. And yeah, let's end the episode. Thanks for watching the episode again. I already said that, but I'm gonna say it again, and I'll see you next time. Bye.